Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Really cool video for you guys today. So as you know, or if you don't know, we just launched the Savage Sellers Amazon FBA course. Now it's a full course. People have been, contacting me, hey, I've done $5,000 courses, I've done $500 courses. This thing has more information about Amazon FBA than anything I've ever seen, and you're selling it for free. So if you haven't gotten in there yet, it's the first link down in the description. And I thought a great way to kind of show, what this is all about is we're gonna be, I actually am uploading one of the course videos right now. You're watching it. It's the criteria that I use to determine if a product's good to sell. Now, I thought that was kind of like one of the most important modules out of the whole course, and that's why you're gonna be able to watch it for free right now, and you can go take the rest of the course in the first link in the description. So now the criteria is super important for your product because you hear me say this all the time, right? You could have the best product in the world and then do everything else poorly, and that thing's still gonna sell, right? Because the market is just determined to get that thing sold no matter what. But if you have a bad product and you do everything else perfectly, $500 photographer photos, perfect listing, everything's golden, it's still gonna have trouble getting that thing ranked because there's just not the demand there, right? So you need the perfect ratio of demand and competition so that you could get ranked easily, but also make plenty of money. So we're gonna jump over, I'm gonna change you over to watching the course video now, and comment down below if you liked it, and also comment down below if you've picked up the course already or if you're going to after watching this. So like I said, you could donate anything that you want. It's donation based. I appreciate all the full price orders. Like I said, a lot of people are enjoying this, getting great value out of it. It's 8 hours long, so I put tons of my own time and money into building this. So I appreciate everyone that donates the full price of the course. Think of it just like, if you can afford to buy it, it's just good deed on your end to pay the full price, because realistically I could have made it full price, but it's donation. So anything 1 penny or more you can get it for. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys, so now that you know how these tools actually work, the web app is kind of used as just the idea maker, right? It's just like it's attached to the Amazon catalog. It's all the products, and then we're putting in our specific criteria that we actually want to, filter out everything we don't want to see and kind of just get right down to the products that we're actually looking for. Find a good idea in there, and then we're going to translate that over, look on Amazon at the product, and then this should look familiar to you from the how to use the Chrome extension part of this session. So what we have here is my exact criteria. Now I customize this to everything I could possibly think for that I'm thinking about when I'm actually looking at a Chrome extension pulled up on a product. And now you could see we have 2 examples here, one in green, one in red, and we'll get to those in a second. But let's just kind of talk about exactly what I'm looking for when I pull up Jungle Scout Chrome extension on a product. And I want you guys, I was going to show you this, and in my head it kind of made sense to do it after we look for a product, but I feel like knowing this before looking for a product will get you into the mindset of why that might be a good product or not. So it's all going to make sense, at least to me it does. So page 1, average review count needs to be 50 to 75 reviews. So what we're talking about right here, and you can see this is the review column. I cut off the top of it by accident, but it lines up with this, so it's just kind of backwards. If you look at reviews here, it's up on this line right here. So if we look at this, now this is 12 slots right here. Everything I'm gonna say is 7 out of 12 for the most part, and that's a good average that I found that works for me. Now we want to see that the average is 50 to 75. Just in looking at this, I can tell that it is just, there's no 3 digits in here and there's a 1 digit. The majority of them are between that just from looking. But what I like to do is pick 7 out of 12 and count. So let's see, 1, 2, and we're counting everything that's under, 75. So we want to see anything lower than 50 is great too. This is just the average of the overall market, but anything under 50 is good too, because obviously the lower the better. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 12 listings have a review count of under 75, and the remaining 3 are very close to 75. So we have 86, 84, and 94. Anything under 100, like they were saying in the Jungle Scout tutorial, is pretty good. So what this shows us, reviews are directly correlated to competition. So a good way of judging, I always say low competition, high demand, and you've probably heard that thrown around a million times. What that really means when you get right down to it is low reviews, high revenue. That's a better way of saying it. So now that we've covered, page one, and the reason I say page one and not just out of 7 out of 12 or whatever, is because if this extends onward and you have people with thousands making thousands, thousands of reviews making thousands of dollars a month, it's kind of, they're dominating it, right? So it's all of page one, not just the first 12. I like we just cut out 12 here because that's the majority of what Jungle Scout shows you. But you want all of page one to have an average review count of 50 to 75. Moving on, so consistent revenue is my next thing. And now these are ordered. I wouldn't say in importance because they're all important, but in the way that I actually look at them. So I actually kind of psychoanalyzed myself and thought about, hey, what do I do in what order when I'm looking at the Chrome extension? Because I notice a lot of people will look at this and might think something different than me, and I see something that some other people might not see. And what I see here, I see instantly, like it's just a tractor beam. Like the reviews are low, so it's low competition product. It looks so good, and this is one of the products I'm looking into currently, actually. And if we look over here, consistent revenue. So what consistent revenue means is that not just this person is making 12 grand and then everyone else is making 100, 200, 1,000. We want to see that this person's making 12 grand and then the majority of the other sellers are making about the same, right? So we see 7 grand, 4 grand, 4 grand, 4 grand, 3 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand, 2 grand, 1,500, 1,200. So all across this whole spread, we see that the revenue is consistent, right? It's consistent with all of the sellers here. That's what I mean by consistent. So consistent against the entire page. Not just one single seller is selling that product and making a ton of money. So many people will show me one single listing and say, look, they're selling, 20 grand a month. They only have 25 reviews. It's like, okay, I really don't care what that one person is doing. Show me the entire market. I want to see that there's an entire market of consistent, believable listings that I could triangulate off of and see that, if I get, law of averaging, if all these people are making this revenue with this low amount of reviews, if I get to the 1 through 5 spot on that page one, I'm going to have a revenue similar to this. That's just common sense, right? So that's the whole reason behind this consistent revenue thing, is just shows you that if you can get your product ranked in here, which you'll be a lot easier to do with this low review, you'll be able to make about that amount of money. And then what you do is, that's not the killer amount, 49,000 a month, it's 4,900 a month, but then you launch, 5, 10, 15 different products that are all making you that amount, and then you seriously have a stable extreme amount of passive income, right? Tens of thousands of dollars a month. I mean, you could do anything you want to do with that amount of money. Travel, nice cars, perfect house, like anything. That's incredible that that's possible to do just from your computer. Average price over $12.99. So we're jumping into the next thing now. The reason was explained in the previous video we just did about the Jungle Scout tutorial. So they nailed it, like I said. Anything under that, the fees to sell on Amazon in the first place are going to take up so much of that you're going to be left with none for profit. So this is about as low as I would ever be comfortable selling a product. Now I have sold under that, and exactly what I'm saying happened. There was too little money. There's not enough money left over after the fees come out, and then you calculate, oh my god, I had to spend $3 to even get that product here and pay for the product. I'm left with $1. Like, that's not worth it. You could sell 500 units and make $500 profit. That's totally not worth it. So I like to aim for the 15 to 50 price range. That's my ideal thing. But if you find a product in this average price range, you could always improve it and then sell it for $15, $16, $17, and then that's where the profit is going to come from. And selling in that $15 to $25 price range, that's where I do most of my product research and try and find products in that price range. I don't usually look in the $25 to $50 price range just because it's usually more expensive to get into that. I don't like really throwing thousands of dollars at one specific product. I'd rather space that out over many different products. So the next one we want to do is, analyze is that revenue is not too high. So this looks beautiful to me. You know, there's no one crushing it, right? There's no one with $40,000 in revenue. There's no one with even $20,000 in revenue. And that's what we're going to get to next, is that we want to see 6,000 to 15,000. And if we look here, you know, we haven't quite hit 15 as the top, but it's 6 to 15. So everything in the middle of that is acceptable. And that's the money spot. And this is hard to find exactly. So that's why I'm going to be showing you so many product research methods to lock down more and more ways to find this amount of products. And guys, I can't stress enough, this isn't just going to happen the first time you open up Jungle Scout and look. You know, I do this every single day. This is my job, literally, to do this. And sometimes I go a month without finding the perfect product. You know, I'll find 10 products that I might want to do, but it's not quite fitting every single criteria that I know that there is a product that would fit that criteria. So that's why you got to keep hunting and keep putting in a couple hours a day of product research. The people who do the best product research and are the most creative in differentiating will be the true winners on Amazon FBA. So you want to look for something that's not seasonal. And we looked into that a little bit on the how to use the Chrome extension. So I don't really have to explain that to you too much. You know, you want to see on the Google Trends report that the product is not, you know, doing something like this, you know, bang, it's up here for a while and then just crashes and it's done for the rest of the year. For instance, when we looked up Christmas lights in one of the previous videos, we saw that it was dead the whole year, you know, October, November, December. January, it's completely dead until the next year, right? But when we looked up something like garlic press, even though that's a horrible product to sell, and don't sell that, I don't recommend that. But just to show you an example, the chart, it's very organic throughout the whole year and it's steady throughout the whole year. So while there might be very slight fluctuations, for the most part, that product's always selling good. And that's what you want. You want a consistent listing that's going to make you consistent revenue for years to come, not just for the next couple of months, right? And the last one that I look for, this isn't really something you're looking for in the Chrome extension. It's more what you're looking for in the product pictures. The product is not too complex, right? If something's super complex, there's a lot higher chance that the customer won't be able to figure out how to use it, or they'll break it, or something's going to go wrong. The simpler the product, the better, like they said in the Jungle Scout tutorial. So let's analyze these 2 screenshots that I took here. We'll look at what to do first. Like, this is the perfect, it could have a little bit higher revenue, but for the most part, this is super, super good. You know, we see the sales are spread out, right? So all the, I know I say, you know, a minimum of 300 average, and this doesn't quite hit that, but I see for the most part that they are spread out. So I would say this is probably a lower to medium demand product. It has a really good sales price, and that's why the revenue is quite a bit higher for this one. But overall, let's look at it in order, right? So what's the first thing you're looking for? This, like I said, this is in the order that I look at it. First thing I'm looking for, I just say I pulled up the main keyword for the product. I pull up the Chrome extension, and we're gonna get into how to do that. Don't worry. I just want you to know what to look for before we actually get into doing that in real time. So what we're looking for here, you know, I pull it up. Wow, reviews look great. First of all, I already said that, but you know, these reviews are fantastic. So it definitely fits the average of 50 to 75. You know, if you added all those up and divided them by 12, I guarantee you would be, you know, in that 50 to 75 region. Now, if we look at the next thing on the list, consistent revenue. So then I kind of look for what I like to call like the revenue to review ratio, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. Is there a lot of people making a lot of money, aka 6 to 15,000, with that low review amount? Because if it's all low reviews but no one's making money, then who cares, right? That's the whole point. We want to be making money from these products. So if the demand isn't there and the revenue's not there and the reviews are low, it doesn't matter if the reviews are low. It's just low competition, low demand. You don't want that. You want low competition, medium, or high demand. So I'd say this is low competition, medium demand, right? Because it's not quite the majority are between 6 to 15. I would say the majority are actually under 6. We only have 2 over 6. So this is more like the majority are probably 3 to 15, I would say. And now let's see, average price over $12.99. Instantly, I mean, you could look right here. The average is definitely in the 20s or 30s even. So that checks out right away. That's pretty easy to tell. Revenue not too high, and like as we just went over, it's definitely not too high, right? It's pretty low actually, which is not always a bad thing. That's sometimes a really good thing. not seasonal. So what you would do is, say if this was a, I don't know, what's a product? We'll say it's a silicone hairbrush, if that exists. You would search silicone hairbrush in Google Trends, and you would want to see that it's consistent all the way along, right? You don't want to see any crazy spikes for a short period of time, and then it dips out and does nothing. And like I said, we went over that back in the how to use the Chrome extension area, but we're just touching on it again. Not too complex. So is this product only have a couple parts, if any moving parts, right? So it should be mainly like one product that does one job. I don't like to see a lot of moving parts or really anything that you plug into a wall. And if it's a simple product that you plug into a wall, like a string light, that's fine, okay? I'm talking about like you don't want to sell, an electric razor for your face or something. There's a lot that could go wrong with that. Not to mention the likelihood of you getting someone suing you or something for something if it's not sterile or it's not safe. That's definitely something to look for, but not too complex, right? But also what I should add to this, I just didn't have room, not too basic. Some people will show me products and it's like a sponge. No, don't. That's way too simple, and you could buy that at Stop and Shop, whatever. Go to the grocery store or Walmart, you could get that. We're looking for things that are unique. So if it's too basic, it almost becomes not unique because you could get it anywhere. If it's too complex, it's just increasing that likelihood of returns, increasing the likelihood of people not understanding how to use it and returning it. So we want to look for just a product with a couple parts. And we'll get into some examples. Obviously, I'm not going to leave that stuff out. Now let's look at the bad chart. So if you pull this up and you see this, now right off the bat, your eyes straight up go to the revenue. But that's why I have this first. I had to train myself to look at reviews first, because if it doesn't fit that, there's no way I even want to sell the product. Right off the bat, we can see, there's hundreds of reviews in here. Talking for so long makes your mouth feel extremely weird. I had to get some water. There's tons of reviews in here. We even see 1,000 reviews. That is a little over the top, and they're only doing 13,000 a month, whereas we look up here doing 13 or 12,000 a month with 94 reviews. So that's not the reason they're doing it. It's just this is such a saturated product that there is so many reviews. Instantly, I shut out of it. So there'd normally be an X right here with Jungle Scout. I just close it and keep looking. Because if it doesn't look like this for reviews, I just stop looking. So don't like have so much faith in a product and think you could get into it when the reviews look like this. And obviously, yes, you can sell products with reviews that look like this, but this is a course for beginners, and I would say start selling products like this once you're more advanced and you could beat them and outlist them and out differentiate them. In the beginning, and even still right now, the way I do it is I want to see this. So that competition is king. That's what I want to see first. Now, consistent revenue. The revenue is consistent, so it's not one person crushing it up top and no one else selling. I mean, it looks great. There's plenty of revenue, and if we look over at monthly sales, that also correlates to how much the revenue is in demand. Monthly sales are spread out great. They're all over the first page. Price is good. And if we go into revenue is not too high, right? So there's no one with 50,000. There's no one with 30,000. 25,000 is not too much. That's a good number. If you have a couple people in there doing that amount, especially with low reviews, then that's a killer product. And then not seasonal. I forget even what this graph was of. I forget what it was, but you know the trick for not seasonal. You want to look in Google Trends, and then not too complex. Again, we can't tell that from the graph, but when you look at the picture, you want to make sure that product is not something that's going to be easy to break or too many moving parts. Now that's going to do it for this specific module. I'll see you in the next one.